Hello and welcome to another episode of Football Talk Podcast. My name is Ozzie and I'm your host for today's show. Silence today. Not hearing much views from rival fans, especially United and Arsenal fans. What's going on today? Very, very quiet today. If you don't know, Liverpool won 1-0 against Man City. Where's all the haters? A lot of talk about Liverpool this season, but very quiet now. Funny thing that is. Normally, I would do a thorough analysis of the game, but today I think it's going to be a different type of content. Need to get a few things off my chest. So, firstly, let's talk about Van Dijk. So, there's a lot of talk about Van Dijk's record where he hasn't lost for a number of years, and a lot of City fans were quite confident that the record will be broken today. Wrong. That our defense will get smoked today. Wrong. That Diaz is a better defender than him. Wrong. Apparently, he's a dead defender. Everyone likes to call him Van Disney, but he seemed to keep one of the best strikers quiet today. Doesn't seem like a bad defender to me. I feel like people have forgotten how great of a defender Van Dijk is, so show some little bit of respect. That record is still intact. Hopefully, long may it continue. Speaking of defenders, for me, Joe Gomez was absolutely amazing today. For me, the best English centre-back, hands down, and he showed it today. You know, Haaland is pretty much in his pocket right now. And speaking of pockets, has anyone seen Phil Foden? There's reports that he's gone missing because James Milner, I can't lie, when I saw him on the right-back position in the starting lineup, I was nervous, but he was fantastic today. Kept that boy quiet. Did not see a peep out of him until probably in the latter stage of the second half. And speaking of right backs, Trent Alexander has been getting a lot of heat about his defenders, predominantly from the media and rival fans. What about Cancelo today? Does he get that same energy regarding his performance? Of course not. He's not a Liverpool player, so he doesn't fit that agenda, does it? So for me, it was a great win, to say the least. I think it was an evenly contested game, especially the first half. I think Man City had most of the opportunities, or the clear-cut opportunities, I would say. But second half, this season, we've normally been quite poor in terms of our reaction when we play after half-time. Today was completely different. We set up as a 4-4-2, but we were fantastic on the counter-attack. Salah, for me, had such a dominant performance. And to be fair, there was a dominant performance all over the pitch. So what I'll do quickly is player ratings today. So I'll be honest, they'll be quite high in the rankings because it's been a good day, it's a good win. Back to the old way of how Liverpool plays. So Alisson Becker, for me, gets a 9 out of 10. Kept a very, very not a close range shot from Haaland that could have gone in. Another goalkeeper might have parried that into the back of the net, but he showed a solid hand to save that shot, and he played a part in the winning goal. Quick thinking from our goalkeeper, beautifully assisted pass, and then Salah did his magic at the end. So he gets a 9 out of 10 for me. Milner, 8 out of 10. I was quite surprised in terms of how he played. I remember last season, he had to play right back against Phil Foden, and Phil Foden smoked him that game. Let's be brutally honest. But this game, it was the other way around. He was fantastic. Defended really well. Didn't give Foden much space to do anything in this game. And yeah, like I said earlier, he kept him in his pocket. So credit to him. Joe Gomez, for me, was man of the match. I've given him a 9 out of 10. I think it was phenomenal. Despite the fact that we had so many injuries, we had Konate, who just got injured a couple of days ago. Matip is still out. I think he's out for a couple of weeks. So Joe Gomez has recently played, but hasn't been playing as regularly as before. So that performance was like the old Joe Gomez, where he formed a formidable partnership with Van Dijk. He was powerful in terms of his challenges, One thing that really impressed me was his distribution. I think it's something that hasn't been spoken about a lot. I think it's improved since his return from injury, and it's an area where I think it's going to play to his part because I feel like he'll get more game time due to this improvement. Even when he's played right back in previous seasons, I've always felt like he doesn't have the crossing ability, but he's shown it numerous times last year and this season that he's more than capable of being an understudy for Trent whenever he's not available or if he needs a rest. And in centre back positions, for me, distribution is very, very important. So he's doing fantastic right now. Van Dijk, I'll give him an 8.5 out of 10. I think Gomez just edged him slightly, but for me, he was fantastic. He looked like his old self, made a fantastic, not a on the line clearance, but it was a fantastic cross by Cancelo. And it looked like Haaland was set to bury it. And he just made that last ditch challenge and hit it over the bar. That was fantastic. That was needed at that time, especially as it was close to the end of the game. So yeah, fantastic performance from him, and hopefully puts him in the right stead to keep this momentum going because we've missed this Van Dijk. So yeah, another dominant performance from him. Robertson, 8 out of 10. I think he was fantastic today. Just goes to show that he was fatigued, and I think he needed a bit of a rest. And today, he just looked like his old self, energetic, fiery from like the first 10 minutes. Got fouled by Bernardo Silva and shoved him out the way. I like that kind of stuff. So for me, less said about Bernardo Silva, the better. But yeah, I think he showed a dominant performance today, full of aggression, and his passing was good today as well. So 8 out of 10 for me. Now the midfield was I think some people were saying it's a 4-2-3-1 formation. For me, today was a 4-4-2. And I think Elliot was playing more of a right-sided midfield role today. And he was fantastic. So I'll give him an 8 out of 10. I think he was everywhere. Really good on the ball. Really good with his pressing as well. Full of energy. And he's definitely improving. So great performance from him today. Fabinho, I'm giving him an 8 out of 10 as well. I think one of his better performances this season. One of his sort of weaknesses that I've seen so far in this season is that his distribution has let him down in terms of his passing range. But today, he had it. He had it. He was very dominant. He was bossing the midfield. That's the Fabinho that we're used to seeing. So a great performance from him. Thiago, 8 out of 10 for me again as well. Another solid performance from him. Great passing, tenacious in his play, very effective on the ball. So deserves his rating there. Jota, for me, I was very impressed with him. I'll give him an 8.5 out of 10. I think he just worked tirelessly, reminding me of what Mane used to do for us. He did that same type of shift where worked tirelessly for the defense, and constantly pressing on that left-hand side as well. So very, very impressed with him. Slight concern as he was off injured towards the latter stages. So fingers crossed it's not a long-term injury, but at this stage, we don't have any clear indication of what type of injury it is. It seemed like it might be a knee injury or maybe a thigh injury, but hopefully we'll see. Gus got a comment here for Madison. Thank you, Liverpool. I know you're Arsenal fan. So yeah, that's the funny thing about today as well, actually, that we win the game and everyone's talking about Arsenal. Like, yes, Arsenal are having a good moment right now, but we're in October. So all this title talk, I don't think it comes from you, Madison, because I've known you for a while. So other Arsenal fans that I speak to, they're just full of chest right now, full of cockiness in terms of how they're talking about it's theirs to lose because they're top right now. Yeah, some people just, you can tell it's been a while since they've been at the top of the league. So, but yeah, obviously positive result for Arsenal as I think the lead has extended to 4 points now. But this is Man City we're talking about. You know, they'll be back. And great victory for us, but I'm not going to say we're going to be up there either. But I think it's just a reminder that we haven't fell off. We're still pretty much right there in the mix. So, yes, let's see how the season goes on for Liverpool. So the next player I'll be rating is Firmino. So for Firmino, I'll give him an 8 out of 10. For me, he was very positive today. Fed some great balls to Salah. Where I think maybe he should have got the goals, especially that one-on-one. But I have to be honest, it was a fantastic save by Edison. From real time, it just felt like Salah just he didn't hit enough curl on that ball. But after seeing that replay, I'm like, that's a phenomenal save. So he learned from that though, because it's the same angle for his goal, and he just lifted the ball up a little bit higher, so it wasn't in sort of hands reach. So that's the sign of a true finisher there. So, but in terms of Firmino, for me, all round game, very very good. So happy to see him playing that number 10 role. It suits him to the T. So yeah, he's having such great form so far this season. Long may it continue. So yeah, I'll give him an 8 out of 10. Salah, I've given him a 9. Probably should have given him a little bit higher, but the reason I haven't given him a higher ranking is because just to be a bit more critique about him, the finishing, I feel like he should have got the goals previously as well. I feel like we should have won by 2-3-0 anyway. So 1-0 was a good result, but I feel like it should have been extended by a lot more. So that's why I'm giving him a 9 out of 10. But he was fantastic. He played like his old self in terms of positionally as well. He wasn't just out wide. He ran the channels very well, very effective on the ball, made great runs. So yeah, really, really impressed with him. The subs, I couldn't really rank them too high just due to the fact that they didn't play for too long. Henderson, I'll give a 7 out of 10. I think he had a solid game when he came on. Didn't do anything where I feel like he lost the ball. He just made it solid in terms of like we didn't feel the loss of Fabinho when he came off. So I think that was a good account from him. Carvalho for me really impressed me when he came. I'll give him a 7.5. There was moments where first touch, he's got a great first touch, but even times where he's pressing or he's trying to get the ball off the opposition, really good in terms of the ball retention there. But at the same time, he made some great passes as well, trying to thread the ball to Jota on the left-hand side once or twice from a counter-attack. So, yeah, he's definitely showed a different range of his play. And I feel like he's going to grow the more he plays this season. Now, I know Liverpool fans are high right now in terms of this result, but I have to be honest about this next person. Nunez, for me, was very disappointing when he came on. I gave him I've written 6.5, so I'll stick to my opinion there, but I thought he was poor when he came on. The reason I'm giving him a 6.5 rather than anything less is because I think he showed great movement. He attacked the channels really well, especially on that left-hand side. But the one thing that is letting him down is his decision making. It's so poor. He attacked that left-hand flank at least 2-3 times. And there was a times where we had 3 attackers. We had, I think, Salah was one, and there was another player, I can't remember who it was. And it was a clear opportunity for him to pass the ball. And he decided to take a shot. So very disappointing because, you know, if Man City had equalized, those are the chances where we would have been highlighting a lot more. But because we're in such a great mood in terms of the victory, it's not been discussed straight after the game as a post-match reaction. But for me, I have to highlight it because it's a disappointment in terms of how he's played. It's a shame because he's so great in terms of how he moves around the pitch, he makes space for himself, and he attacks the channels really well. But these decision making is something that really needs to improve for him to be regarded as a top striker. So yeah, hopefully he learns from it. But yeah, very erratic. I think that's just the nature of his game, but it's something that needs to be ironed out. He's still a project is probably the word. He's a diamond in the rough. He needs a lot of polishing up. So let's see how it goes. But yeah, decent performance, but not happy in terms of how the Rivers final ball wasn't good enough for me. Trent Alexander-Arnold just getting a 7. I think he did a decent job when he came on. Had a moment where Foden went past him, so positioning, he needs to work on that a little bit more. even though he was playing a bit more further up, but he was caught up in that position in a more defensive area. So something he needs to work on in the training ground, definitely. Simicast didn't really have much impact going on. Only came on, I think, for 10 minutes. So I've just given him a 7 just because we won the game. So it is what it is. But that's my quick post-match reaction there, guys. So thank you for tuning in. Thank you for Madison for your comment. I know you'll be happy just probably as much as Liverpool fans are today. If you haven't already, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I will be doing the next content tomorrow. So I'll be doing a match week 11 roundup of all the top games, including this one, where it'll be a bit more of a thorough analysis, plus other games that took place over the weekend. And then Tuesday, we'll be doing a preview of the midweek game. So there's a few games coming up soon as well. So look out for that. Follow me on social. So Ozzie .ftp on Instagram and Ozzie FTP on Twitter. So make sure you follow me. You'll be notified of all upcoming content coming up. So yeah, that's it from me today. So thank you again, guys. Take care. Stay safe. And I hope to see you all very soon. Good night.